it's one of my... Okay, guys, I love these. I love watching these stupid creepypastas with Chatty. They make me so happy. Wow, this is my moment, okay? I finally get to feel joy. Let's go. It has no face, okay? Alright, this one... I've got good hopes for this one. I think the loop one was kind of compared to the first one we watched with the creepy
Everyone
smiling
has tales
people.
about the strange and
What?
bizarre.
Wait, who is this? Wait.
My
Chatty, is this not a model from like, is that like a fucking Fortnite model? Team Fortress 2. What the hell? Why do they have this guy here?
My story is about how my ski mask saved my life and continues to save my life to this very
What the hell?
day.
Fortnite.
Late in
I don't
December,
know these
I
things.
was traveling north from California to my home state of Oregon. Nothing
Thank
fancy.
you for telling
I
us
was
which
just
direction
going to
Oregon
visit the
is in.
family for the holidays. On my way north, I hit a small snowstorm. Nothing awful, just a lot of snow falling at
What is
once.
that bobblehead?
I wasn't worried about the small increase of snow at first, considering I had snow tires installed before I started my long journey home.
Now I'm gonna be distracted because the protagonist is the guy from Team Fortress 2.
I did, however, get a little hesitant to drive when the snow started to really come down. The large amount of falling snow coupled with the large amount of already littering the ground as I traveled higher into the mountains caused me to consider finding a place to stay for the night. I figured I could get some sleep while the storm passed over. That and the fact that I could
You get
give
distracted
my
by
car
Team
seater a
Fortress
break
2?
before-
I get distracted when the fake character for the fake fucking... Whatever you call it, for the fake creepypasta is a character who already exists. Clanker-generated content. Where is this Clanker generated? Where is this Clanker generated? Where? Where? This is a fucking person role-playing. This is a person who does like fucking reading creepypasta out loud for money and ad revenue on YouTube. It's existed for ages. Do you fucking know that guy? The corpse husband guy? The guy who has the fucking condition that makes his voice super deep? That's how he got his fucking start. This is normal. This is not fucking Clanker content. You are so obsessed with Clankers. They have taken over your fucking mind. You can't listen or watch anything without thinking about Clankers. Stop, okay? We used to live in a society.
Or it would decide to burst into flames, or worse,
We used to live in a
stop
fucking
working
society.
altogether. I scanned as much of the landscape as I could, but there were no buildings in the immediate area. The only other option I had for my predicament was to keep driving
the
and hope there was
clanker
a
in the
town or
room with
exit
us
nearby
right
that I
now.
could take in order to
Shut
escape
up,
from the
okay? Everyone shut up, lock in. Okay, this better be good. This fucking creepypasta better be good, I swear to God.
storm. I must have been driving for at least an hour before I saw a sign up ahead indicating how far the closest city was. My heart sank a
Yes.
little when I read 162 miles. As
What?
it flew by my windshield and vanished into the snowy night.
Damn,
At
you
this
still
point,
got some driving
the
to
snow
do.
was beating against my windshield, and I knew I wasn't going
Yeah,
to last
Fortnite City is
162
crazy.
minutes, let alone miles. The digital clock on my radio read 1:21 a.m., and I decided that the next turnoff I saw, I would take and hope that I could find a neighborhood that will produce some results on my current endeavor. My thought process was either freeze to death in my car or stay the night at some random person's house.
I'm sorry, did they put green text in the... Did you They just put green... What? Huh? Oh, okay. They're on both sides. What the hell is this? Okay, let's... No, lock in.
Weighing the two options in my head, I picked the only thing a sane person would pick and tried to find a house.
Maybe it is a clanker. I'm gonna kill everyone in this chat right now. Like, every single person.
Another 30 minutes flew by and still no luck finding a place to pull off.
Listen, I don't even know what's AI generated anymore, but we've watched, I think, multiple of this guy's videos. I think that he just has a very monotone style of delivery. I honestly think the AI voice things are actually more emotive than this guy. I think this guy just has autism.
Just when I was starting to lose hope, I saw a turnoff in the distance. A small shape started to make its way closer into my headlights, and on further inspection,
Yeah,
it was
I'm pretty
revealed
sure
to
the
me-
video itself has to be handmade, which is funny as fuck. I'm gonna hire this guy to do a music video for me whenever my new 3D model comes out. You're like, oh, I can't take this seriously. Oh, I hate this shit. Well, get ready, because I'm about to release the best VTuber music video of all time, perhaps.
that there were 2 wooden poles that possibly belonged to a fence. When I turned onto the road between the 2 wooden poles, the ground beneath felt rocky and rough, like I
As
was
it
traveling
does.
on gravel.
That is ground.
I didn't drive for too long before I started to see a small cabin creep into my field of view.
Will he
The
sing
lights in
too?
the cabin
No.
were off, but the place seemed to be in fairly good shape.
You're gonna duet with Evil? Why? What? Wait. When did this happen? Am I doing a duet with Evil? I'll go ask her.
I parked my car under
she'll
a tall,
unblock me on
wild-looking
Discord.
tree that took residence on the cabin's front lawn. Getting out of my car, I immediately grabbed my extra jacket and put it on. Also, pulling the ski mask I wore around my neck up over my ears to keep...
Does anybody here actually own a ski mask? Like, actually. You said you were going to make the best music video. Presented without commentary. Your ideal collaboration for me is to sing with Evil Neuro. And that's what you think would be the best ever. Gundam Man, welcome, hi. You did already. Technically, I did with the Bikini Bottom.
heat around my face. After putting my cap snug on
Stop
my head, I
interrupting
trudged
me,
up to the
Logan!
cabin.
Logan,
As I traveled through the
tried
cold,
so hard to get
windy
in the
night up to
creepy
what I felt
mood.
was my salvation, I immediately regretted not getting any gloves for my hands. Despite the irritation I had with my hands,
God, those
my
fucking
face and the
hands.
rest of my body were comfortably warm, so I didn't have much room to complain. I stuffed my frozen hands deep into my pockets and continued my journey across the cabin's lawn. As I made my way to the door, I noticed something a bit odd.
Oh? What is
There was
it?
no indication of life anywhere. There wasn't even a car in the front yard. Taking my right hand
the
out of my
subtitle.
pocket,
Did you see that?
I knocked 3 times,
Did you see that, Chatty? Ooh, spooky!
waiting patiently before saying, "Hello? Is anybody there? I'm sorry to bother you so late at night, but I need a place to stay for a few hours." Nothing answered
Big
my plea
ask,
for help.
honestly.
So I knocked 3 more times on the door, hitting my
No,
knuckles
just
harder
walk in.
against
Clearly nobody's
the
home.
aged
Just go.
wood of
Just
the
go in.
entrance.
Just get in.
"Hello?"
Hello?
I said, again a little
Hello?
louder before continuing with, "I'm not here to rob you or anything. I just need a place to stay for the rest of the night."
That's not threatening at all. Chatty, I'm not here to rob you or anything. I just need to take a shit.
"I promise I will be gone by sunrise." As I finished my last
Definitely a
sentence,
vampire. He's a
I touched the
vampire.
ornate metal door handle,
Don't let him in. Don't let him in.
noticing that the door seemed to be unlocked. I said in a loud voice, "I'm coming in now. If there's anybody in there, please let me know." I pressed the metal lever
Chatty, would you go inside? Would you go inside in this situation?
down, finding it
Press
a bit
1 to
odd
go
that the
in,
door
press
was
2 to
unlocked,
say
and
fuck no.
opened the door with little resistance on the other end, closing it behind me with about the same resistance despite the fact the door was really old.
A lot
Looking
of
around the
rational
area, I
choices
noticed
in
the
here.
cabin had 5 rooms. The living room, which was
2 would freeze to death. Would this environment stop you from freezing to
the
death?
largest, a small kitchen, an even smaller washroom, and what I assumed were 2 small bedrooms in the back. No lights were on inside this cozy cabin, making it almost perfectly dark if my eyes weren't already
Perfectly
adjusted to
dark.
the darkness from outside.
Why, it's the goggles for me. Since when does
I
this
decided
guy
the
have
best thing to do
goggles
would
on?
be to search for a light switch, so I took out my phone and turned on
Please keep the ski mask on because it makes me forget that he's that one character from the fucking Team Fortress
the
2.
flashlight
Just
app
keep
to
it on
scan
the
the
whole
walls.
video, please.
Of course, my scan produced no results, however. And, at the risk of losing precious battery power on my phone, I decided the best option would be to turn off the light and put my phone on airplane mode.
What?
Before turning off my light, I studied the paintings hanging on the wall that I glossed over in the initial scan.
Is he stupid?
Each painting that crossed my sight was just Typical landscapes of harbors, things like that. There was a painting that looked like a fox hunt or something similar, but other than that, it was just typical paintings you would see hanging on the walls around an elderly person's home. There was one painting, however, that did catch my attention. The painting was small and consisted of what looked like 2 adults. A mother, father, a teenage girl, and a small child.
Hat. Wow.
The family captured in that painting were wearing what looked like Victorian-era clothing. I'm only guessing about the clothes. I mean,
wait, what is with the setup?
Early 20th century.
Okay, I guess he survived, Chatty. He survived.
The clothing
Spoiler,
was very
he lives.
ornate and
he makes
regal.
it.
There's something really disturbing about the image, though. The faces of each member of the family appeared as if they were smoothed over with clay.
No faces.
It's kind of hard to describe, I know, but the 3 family members
the
looked
big
like
top
they had
hat
no
is way
facial
more
features.
disturbing than that.
By no facial features, I mean, instead of the normal ones that you and I have, the 3 people in the painting had grooves of smooth flesh where normally you would have eyes or a nose, mouth.
Chatty, what if I started a stream, but I didn't have an eyes or nose or mouth? Well, I practically already don't have a nose because I'm an anime character, but imagine that I started stream and I had none of those, but I just talked to you and with like reverb on and creepy music in the background. Would you love that?
The only person in the painting that didn't possess a blank face was the teenage girl, which appeared to be normal.
It should be possible. This should be doable. This should be very doable.
Quite breathtaking. I pulled myself away from the painting to take a glance at my phone for the first time. My phone indicated that it was past 2 o'clock in the morning, so I decided to go back to the room and check to see if it was occupied.
This
my
guy's
relief,
so
the room was vacant.
silly.
Besides a medium-sized bed, ornate dresser, and a nightstand, there wasn't
This is
much to
somebody's
go by.
vacation home. We're totally safe
The walls
in
were
here.
blank, apart more sappy
see it,
paintings
Lucy?
to give it a little more atmosphere, I suppose.
No. Guys, I missed something. Okay. Oh! What the fuck? Is that it? Chatty, what is that? Chatty, what is that? Chatty, what is that?
I decided to go back to the room and
Chatty,
check to
what
see
is
if it was
that?
occupied. To my relief, the room was vacant.
the
Besides a
house
medium-sized
pet? Maybe
bed,
it's a
ornate
cat.
dresser, and a nightstand,
Cat's
there
eyes
wasn't
glows
much
like
to go
that.
by.
An
The walls
anomaly?
were blank,
Shit.
apart more
Intruder.
sappy paintings to give it a little more atmosphere, I suppose. Although there was no indication of a heating system, besides a chimney, the rooms were bearable enough that I figured I could just bundle up in my clothes under the covers in order to stay warm. I was only going to be there for a few hours anyway, so there wasn't much point in starting a fire, plus
What?
the people who own the cabin would be
Bro is literally gonna freeze to death, and he's like, there's not a lot of point to starting a fire.
back tonight considering how late it was. I hopped into the worn-out bed, facing the open door next to the other door, which I assumed was a closet, and pulled my ski mask completely up over my face to make
Thank
sure
you.
my head
Keep
would
it that
stay nice
way.
and warm for the rest of my stay. Pulling the fabric of my mask down slightly, I set the alarm on my phone for 4:30 a.m. and put it back down on the nightstand.
4:30 a.m.
I covered my face again
That
and
is so
bundled up
early.
tightly with the sheets, closing my eyes and letting
Sun's
dreamland
not
take
even
me
gonna
away
be
until
up.
I woke up after what only felt like minutes, to the sound of scratching.
Yes. People are insane. If I was in this situation, there is no way I would be capable of sleeping. I can barely sleep in perfect conditions, and this guy's just like, oh, I went to sleep immediately and woke up to scratching. I wouldn't be asleep.
My body froze as I heard the noise over and over again, softly coming from the
Oh.
closed door. I tried to relax.
I'm relaxing. I'm relaxed.
thinking
I'm relaxed.
That
Because I
all
know
the
it's not
noises
me.
that I
Ah,
heard was just probably a rat or some other animal that was spending the night in the closet while
this guy's
the
gonna get
cabin's
shot.
owners were away. Quietly, I shifted onto my back, pulling my ski mask down slightly so a little slit appeared, giving me
A
a
little
small
slit
window to look
appeared.
out at
Oh,
what was there. I laid on the bed, stiff as a board, with my cap and my mask covering my face in such a way that it acted almost like a visor, giving me a small peek at what was in the darkness.
oh
Thankfully,
no, Chatty.
my eyes were still adjusted to the dark, which gave me a small amount of reassurance as I continued looking in the direction of the scratching noise.
He's looking. He's looking. Get on with it!
The scratching continued, louder and louder for what seemed like minutes until, just like that, it stopped.
At the front of the door? At the front of his door? It stopped?
Again, but it wasn't a safe kind of silence.
No shit,
the deafening
honey.
silence in the room was foreboding, ominous.
It's always been foreboding. You're the weird person who was able to sleep in there.
The type of silence that happens in a movie just before something jumps out at you. Just when I began to calm myself down,
just go back to sleep.
The doorknob to the closet began to jiggle and turn very slightly.
Oh.
My heart was racing out of my chest as I saw and heard that knob turn. And every inch of my body wanted to
I'd crash
out of
out.
bed and out of that cabin before whatever was on the other side of that door got out after me. I laid perfectly still on the bed, despite the fact that I had a cocktail of adrenaline, nerves, and instincts telling me to get the hell out of there.
No shit, and you were just laying
My
down.
eyes
He's like, I'll
widened
just
as
go
the door
back to
the
sleep
closet
soon.
opened slightly, and
I'm
I
having a
saw
nightmare. This is
what
my
looked
sleep
like
paralysis
a dried
demon.
head attached to an elongated neck.
That
pop out of the
foot!
opening.
This looks like that one
Accompanied by
creature
a
from Ocarina
skeletal
of
body.
Time in the Shadow Temple.
The thing that was emerging from the closet
It's literally the
crawled
same
on
thing.
all fours out of the doorway and slowly made its way to the bed that I was sleeping in. I had never been more frightened
It's the
in my
same
whole
thing!
entire life as the thing stood up, almost touching the ceiling
No,
of the
no, no,
cabin.
it's like the boss
and
at the
looking
end of
down
the
in
Shadow
my
Temple.
direction. The creature stood there studying me as I peeked through
Orphan
the
of
thin
Kos,
slits
yes.
in my mask.
Yeah, I can see it.
Pure terror swirling around in my mind as I glanced up at the body of the creature. Looking
Damn,
at the
that
creature's
body of yours
skeletal
is
face,
insane.
I noticed that it had no eyes within its head, which led me to believe that
He's part of the
it couldn't
family.
even see me even
From the
though I could see
picture.
it. Just
He's
when
like,
the
"Why the
idea of not
fuck
being able
are
to see
you
me
in my
started to give me a
bed?"
little comfort, the creature began to speak.
You'd be mad too.
Strange.
What?
The creature whispered softly as it continued to watch me, and then spoke again. It had no fear of me.
What?
It continued to say in a hoarse tone as it began to breathe loudly,
He's dropping lore.
continuing to look at me and gripping down on the edge of my bed. Feeling the creature's bony hand touch the edge of my bed caused my brain to go into complete panic mode. The only thing that stopped me from
He's
jumping
hyperventilating?
up was the thought that maybe the creature believed I was dead or asleep and wouldn't
Whispers
attack.
to Brisadov called Lucy. Okay, you ruined it. You're ruining the moment. Shut up.
How can it not fear? How can it not fear me?
I am not an it.
The thing said through clenched teeth before loudly gasping and suddenly pulling back, with its mouth open in an expression that almost resembled fear. It has no face, the thing whispered to itself as it continued to back away. It has no face, the creature said again, but this time louder
He
than
doesn't
before
know that
and
he
slightly
has no
more
face.
unnerved. No face! The creature shouted as it backed off further away from the bed. I heard the thing breathing loudly and quickly before calming down and slowly returning to the side of the bed.
Ski mask? Oh my god,
Leaning
is it
over
because
me
of the
slowly,
ski mask, you
The
think?
creature continued to look at me before softly beginning to breathe on my face. I could smell its foul breath even through my mask.
Ew,
The smell was so
yucky.
powerful that it took all my strength not to gag as a reflex to the awful stench.
Ew, ew, ew.
In my mind, I made the choice to keep motionless, and did not do or say anything that would compromise whatever illusion I was giving the thing that was currently studying me.
This is a weird hentai? No, this is
The
pretty
creature
standard.
breathed on me again, softly. The stench I smelled from its breath could only be described as rotten, which only strengthened my resolve to stay perfectly motionless. Strange.
Strange.
The thing whispered at me again, leaning in close to me to the point where I could see and smell its decaying flesh. The creature
Could you stay motionless
slowly
here,
reached
Lucy?
for me,
I can't stay motionless while I'm asleep.
its hand moving slowly towards my face.
I'd be tweaking.
With every inch that decaying hand moved, I couldn't help but feel my situation becoming more
He's going
and
for
more
his dick.
dire.
Oh yeah, this fucking hentai is
I
about
thought
to
that
get
this
good.
was it for me.
He closed his eyes in
The creature would kill
anticipation.
me tonight, or take me away and torture me, then kill me, and no one would know what happened to me. No one would find my body out there, and no one would know my story. I could feel tears start to well up in my eyes as I thought of everyone I ever loved being yanked away from me in this one very moment.
You're dramatic. You're gonna be fine.
No face. No face.
No face.
No face. The creature softly chanted as its hands crept ever closer to my face. I could hear the anguish in the creature's voice as it continued chanting over and over as it reached for me.
Oh, not the body angle.
As its long, bony hand crept only centimeters away from my face.
They're thirst-trapping this creature.
I braced myself for the worst.
What would you do here, though? Accept my fate and die! What do you think I'm gonna do? What, am I gonna fight it? No! I'm just laying down. I'm waiting.
Was all over.
Like, get it over with, bro!
Erupted from the room, filling the ear closest to the nightstand with a flood of beeps and causing the creature to scream and jump back.
I thought he was only asleep for a few minutes.
Threw itself back against the wall, shrieking uncontrollably in terror.
He's autistic. He can't do the loud noises.
I was dumbstruck for a second before the thought came to me that I had set my alarm
Saved by a clanker?
which
must be one of the good ones.
I jumped out of the bed, grabbed my phone, and pointed the lit-up screen at the monster as the alarm continued to ring loudly.
Oh my god, he's actually knocked out.
Even more in confusion and terror as it retreated quicker as I approached.
It's literally Venom! Did you know Venom is weak to noises?
In order to disorientate the monster
so this is a hentai.
No face! No face! No face!
No face! No face!
The creature shrieked at me as it withdrew to the safety of the closet. I continued to shine my light on the creature, and for the added effect, I started playing loud music as I continued to jab my phone into the monster's direction like a lion tamer.
Can you imagine, like, the scariest thing in your life happening, and then from your phone it's like... Despacito para Puerto Rico!
The thing threw itself into the dark recesses of the closet, and I shoved the door back, locking it after I slammed it closed. The shrieks coming from the monster started to get fainter and fainter, like it was almost retreating deeper into the house. No face! No face! No face!
Turn that shit off!
I could hear the creature yell out as it got further and further away. After hearing the last retreating words of the thing that terrified me the whole night, I bolted from the cabin at breakneck speed, jumping into my car and floored it off the gravel road.
I can't stop thinking about Despacito playing.
I was shaking all over as I drove. And when I pulled my ski mask further down to expose my skin...
Did you have a face? Did you have a face? Do you have a face?
I was as white as the snow that littered the ground.
Oh.
I was so frightened by the whole experience as soon as I pulled into the first town I saw, I parked my car and began to sob uncontrollably for a while.
As you would. You know, that's valid.
The experience that I had just been through would scar me for life. But as I wept in my car, in the parking lot of a convenience store, I couldn't help but start to laugh a little in between my fits of crying.
He's crazy! He's cracked!
I got through my ordeal without so much as a scratch on me. Well, aside from the mental scratches, I was fine. I was alive, and I didn't have to worry anymore. After I finished with my whole episode of crying and laughing like an insane person, I entered the store, sniffling and wiping away the rest of my emotions. As I continued into the store, the cashier looked up at me and traced my direction with his eyes before continuing with what he was doing. The store was mostly empty. Aside from an elderly couple, I was the only customer in there. Rough night? The cashier said with one eyebrow cocked up while he scanned my items.
Cocked up? Dude, he's used the word cock for like 3 times in the story for no reason.
I said, looking out of the window at the sun breaking over the horizon.
Oh, this is another Team Fortress 2 character?
I, noticed you looked a bit upset when you came in.
He works at the gas station.
What happened? You get dumped or something? He said, looking up at me as the register computed how much I owed him. Looking at the young man behind the register, he seemed to be a little younger than I was, although that didn't say much because even though I'm 22, I do look younger than my actual age. I looked at the cashier's name tag for a second before feeling that I had nothing to lose by telling him about the night I just had. The small name on his ID read Evan.
No, his
And as
name
I
is
finished
Scout.
telling him
Chad
my
just told
frightening
me.
tale, something odd happened.
Why is this turning into a yally? Why do I need to know this guy's
expected him to burst
name?
out laughing or say that I was the best liar he had ever
He
talked
has no
to.
face, doesn't he? He has no face. He has no face.
Instead of doing any of that,
Facelet. He's
Evan
a
just stood
facelet.
there. His skin, milk white as he stared at me with an expression so horrified. He gave me the impression that he had just witnessed something get run over by a train or something.
Why? This fucking this shot
Evan,
is so funny.
you alright?
No, no.
I said, looking into his eyes
no,
while we both just
no.
stood there, silently.
For 5 minutes.
What? Oh, yeah. It's just, Evan began to say before his thoughts trailed off due to a new
What the
feeling
fuck?
that we were
What
both
the
being
fuck?
watched.
What the
I began to
fuck?
feel eyes burn into the back of my head before turning around to see the old couple I glanced at when I entered the store beforehand. The old couple possessed the same horrified expression that Evan had just a few
He
seconds
has
ago.
no face.
They must have heard the whole story I told. After a few moments of silence, the old couple asked me what I knew about the cabin, to which I couldn't really say.
What?
I gave them the best description I could about what I saw. The couple proceeded to tell me about the cabin, how long it had been there, and that it was haunted
How do
by
they
a
know?
presence so terrifying that the place was condemned and left to...
It's never a good thing when you get out of the fucking haunted cabin and then you go to the nearby town and then you start telling people about what happened to you and then they're like, oh, you went to the cabin. It's not a good sign when they know what you're talking about.
rot away after so many people disappeared there. They told me that no one who ever stayed in that cabin has ever been seen alive again. If
I'm
they've
the
ever been
first!
seen
I
until after
won!
their
I
visit.
won! He's
But
a
one of
winner.
my best friends stayed the night in that cabin, Evan said quietly as he stared off
What
into
the
the
fuck?
distance,
Why are his
but
eyes up
continued
in his
thoughts
forehead?
with, I refused to go into the cabin. I knew something bad would happen if we went. I tried so hard to convince him that the dare was stupid and to not go in, but he refused to be labeled as a chicken and continued with the dare.
He's like, I'm not a pussy. Catch this.
Evan's eyes began to water as he continued with his story. I never saw him again after that night. I kept calling his house, but
I
his
love Team
parents
Fortress
still
2
couldn't find him.
Creepypasta.
We put up flyers, billboards, but we never had any luck. After a few days, we contacted the police, and I told them about the cabin. Evan began to choke down his tears as he clenched his fist.
God, make Evan have a fucking
They
crash
found him
out on
in the
his
basement of
shift.
that cabin,
This sucks.
sprawled out on the floor.
He's got so
His
many
eyes
people.
were ripped out
My
of his face.
eyes!
His nose had been removed, and his lips were sliced clean off. When they found him, he was naked with an incision in the bottom of his ribcage, down to his pelvis in the middle of his body.
Oh, that's a freaky demon.
All of his
That's a
organs were
freak.
extracted from his body, and to add insult to injury, his genitals were sliced clean off.
Freaky.
But you want to know the worst part of it all? When the police did the autopsy on the body, they found that he was alive during the whole process.
Oh, how would you know that?
Evan winced as he remembered the whole gruesome sight and said, "They never found who or what did it. There was no DNA evidence to convict anybody. They didn't find the tools that made the incisions, and they didn't find
Mostly
anything."
blood coagulation? Really?
Evan clenched his fist tighter on the table before the old man, listening to our conversation, put his hand on Evan's shoulder to reassure him that it was going to be all right.
I'm
As he
guessing these are
comforted
also
Evan,
Team Fortress
he
2
looked at me and
characters?
said, "People have been disappearing from the area for decades. Maybe even centuries for all we know, but the bodies always end the same gruesome way. I don't care who you are. No one deserves something like that happening to them.
True.
They should just torch that damn place to the ground."
True.
The old lady joined her husband's side and looked at me with the most foreboding face I had ever
Now that's
seen.
a real hag.
"If your story is true, you should consider yourself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. In all my years of living, you are the only one to go into that cabin and emerge alive," the woman said, gripping onto her husband's hand tightly as she spoke to me.
This sounds like a fake story.
After hearing the old woman's
like
words,
that
I
a guy would
realized
tell
that
you to like
Evan
brag.
said the
He's
body
like,
of his friend
"You
was
wanna know
found
the
in the
scariest
basement,
thing that ever happened to me?"
which would explain why the monster's voice got fainter. It would have pulled me into the basement.
I was
if my
the
phone
only one
hadn't
who
gone
ever
off.
lived. I
I
lived
quickly
to
paid for my
dovetail.
items and left the store, more troubled now than I was when I
God
entered.
damn, he gave her so much money.
Feeling drowsy
Fuck.
due to the lack of sleep and constant adrenaline rush caused by the whole terrible ordeal, I decided to go to a hotel.
Yeah, the Silent
and
Hill music
spend
is
my
crazy.
Day sleeping and relaxing to get my mind
At
off
the
things.
ocean? The Ocean
That
View
night,
Hotel?
I sat on the bed in my hotel room and looked at the 2 items that saved my life. In one hand, I gripped onto my ski mask, which hid my face from that terrible monster. In my other hand, I held my cell phone, which scared away the horrible beast that could have killed me. I decided from that day on, I would always wear my ski mask to bed. It saved my life. That's the
What
least I
the
can
hell?
do for
This
it.
guy's traumatized.
The recent brush
Imagine
with
wearing
death
a
I
ski
just
mask to
experienced
bed
had
every
taught me that
night.
life is far too precious to waste, so I decided to ask my best friend Samantha out on a date, and things worked out perfectly. Samantha and I were together for 2 years before I recently asked her for her hand in marriage, which she said yes.
Wow.
Part of me will never ever forget that awful night.
Whoa, why do we
And
need to know
because
all
of
this
it,
about you?
Not only have I been wearing my ski mask to bed every night since then, I've also made it a priority not to live in any type of house that has a basement. As an added safety measure, I started locking every door before going to bed. It's a pain, but
Imagine being married to this guy and you find like a perfect house for your budget and it's a great house and he's like, is there a damn
you
basement?
can never be too careful.
You know how I feel about
Despite
the
these
damn
crazy
basements!
precautions, Samantha has accepted my little quirks and has continued to be supportive as we continue our journey through life together. I couldn't be happier with the way things turned out in my life. And
This can't, no, this
I'm
has
so
to have
lucky to be
a
with
creepy
Samantha.
ending.
everything's perfect.
Everything's perfect, Chatty.
There's just one thing that bothers me.
Okay, here it is,
I
here it
might
is.
just have to blame my imagination, but sometimes,
Sometimes.
when I wake up at night, when it's really, really quiet,
Aw.
sometimes I'll hear
Sometimes.
soft scratching noises. Also,
It's
and
coming.
I think it's just paranoia, but I swear, sometimes I hear something whisper. No face.
No face.
From inside my closet.
It's the trauma. You need therapy. You need therapy. He needs therapy, okay? It's the trauma and it's therapy that he needs and nothing else, okay? Other than that, he's totally... Yeah, he won. He won! The creature was gay? That's what I learned as well. You guys walked away with that message too? I thought I was crazy.